Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Connie Grill. I'm the owner of Faithful Friends Farm. We're a small regenerative family farm located in Carroll County, Maryland. And today I wanted to bring out an informative video to you guys. Something that I've been wanting to share with you for a long time. I just haven't had the chance to get around to it like that happens often around here. But I think this is particularly important. I've been educating my customers on this subject for years. I wanted to extend that education to all of you. There's a lot of deception going on in our food industry, and I'm sure you guys are well aware of some of those things. But today I wanted to teach on the subject of eggs and tell you what to look for when you're shopping for eggs. To keep in mind these deceptive labels and what they really mean, if they even mean anything. I'll start off with just your regular old plain old eggs. This looks like a nice, natural, healthy dozen eggs. It's brown eggs, which means that's got to be better than white eggs, right? That is one of the deceptive things I've noticed. There actually is no nutritional difference between a brown egg and a white egg. But people see the brown egg and they automatically feel like it's more nutritious. But that's not the case at all. It's just a breed of chicken that egg's coming from. So keep that in mind when you're shopping. You might save a little bit if you're just buying white eggs versus brown eggs. But this is just your regular old eggs. And the way they raise these hens are in what they call battery cages. And they call them battery cages because they're about the size of a car battery. So I don't know exactly what that would be, but maybe like this. And it's just big enough for the hen to sit in a cage, and they have the food and water in front of them. They don't have to move at all. These hens live horrible lives, and they usually have them for about a year, and then they switch out. Those hens go to Campbell's or some other soup company, and they purchase new hens because laying slows down after the second year of production. And when they're in the industry of how to make money with eggs, they're not going to give these chickens more of a couple year lifespan, which is just the way it is. But the worst part of it is the conditions they're raised in. Our next step up from just your regular battery cage hens is something called cage free. The name brand is even called Open Nature. That's got to mean it's pasture raised, right? That's not true at all. It just means that they're not living in cages, which essentially means that they're crowded in big buildings, shoulder to shoulder. That's all the meaning of cage free. It doesn't go any farther than that. Have a nice picture of a field, open nature, and people automatically assume, and it's certified humane, which doesn't mean a whole lot either. There's all kinds of certifications you come across, which I'm not part of any, because it has nothing to do with certifications. It's how you really actually raise these animals. And I want to also show you, this is called Simple Truth Organic. These are just large brown grade A eggs, USDA organic, cage-free eggs. They're fed organic feed. That doesn't mean they're raised in organic conditions. So what this means is they're in a building, shoulder to shoulder, never see the light of day, and they're fed organic feed. And this always gets me too, which really rubs me the wrong way too. I don't know if you guys realize, but chickens are not vegetarians, they're omnivores, which means to optimize the health of your hens, you want to feed them a large variety. So that means you want to give them vegetables, you want to give them meat, which could be grubs, beef scraps. There's nothing wrong with giving them scrap leftovers. Like if you have steak for dinner and you feed them the scraps from the steak, there's nothing wrong with being fed an omnivore diet. That's actually what they should be fed. And right here it says, from chickens raised without antibiotics or growth hormones in a humane, cage-free environment with organic vegetarian feed. Why do they have to add that? They're not vegetarians. It doesn't make the eggs healthier for them to be fed a vegetarian diet. So that always gets me. But right here too, without antibiotics or growth hormones. Did you guys know it's been illegal since the 1950s to feed poultry growth hormones? That is a misconception, and they still label their stuff that way. It doesn't happen. And antibiotics, as far as antibiotics go, if that's found in their eggs, you can never feed laying hens antibiotics. No antibiotic is safe for laying hens because for the rest of their lives, they're going to be laying eggs that have antibiotics in them. And there's always going to be traces of antibiotics. So I don't even think, like, you know, in the commercial world that they're feeding antibiotics, because as far as I know, there's no safe antibiotic to feed a laying hen. But not just that, but like I said, growth hormones, they've been illegal since the 1950s. But they still add that to their egg cartons. See, it's got a little star next to growth hormones. If you go down and find where that little star is, it says right here, federal regulations prohibit the use of hormones. So why are they even adding that to their eggs? It makes absolutely no sense. It's just another deceptive marketing scheme. Okay, now we're going to move on to organic free-range eggs. How they come from hens that have 21.8 square feet of outdoor space per hen. It's great that they have outdoor space, but that really doesn't mean much either. That could just mean it's an open pavilion, you know, where the hens can go in and out of. It could be a big concrete slab for all we know. I'm going to show you what 21.8 square feet is. So I actually drew you guys out a diagram to show you what 21.8 square feet looks like. So come along with me. Alright guys, so you know what that equates to? It's about 4.5 by 5 foot. That's the outdoor space they're given. So, this is it right here. I can almost reach each side. I can definitely reach each side this way. Almost this way as well. That's how small of an outdoor space they get per hen. Don't get me wrong, that's a whole lot better than battery cages. And that's a whole lot better than just being labeled cage-free. At least they have a little bit of space and it's out in the sunshine, so they say. So, for you guys who really want to eat healthy, if you're not able to buy eggs from your local farmer's market or directly from the farm, you can rely on Trader Joe's for their pasture-raised large brown eggs. And this is also certified humane, which you guys should look into that. I'm not sure like exactly what the guidelines are, but I know they have all different levels when something's certified humane. You can start any like organization and have certifications. It really doesn't mean a whole lot. But at least they're outside. I mean, this is so much better than getting the ones from hens in cages. I was reading the back of this. Outdoor forage and vegetarian feed. Now if they're foraging outdoors and you're feeding them vegetarian feed, if they're foraging outdoors, they're going to be eating bugs and stuff anyway, which means that they're not eating a vegetarian diet. So I don't even understand why that's on the egg carton. This is a lot better than the free range or the cage free or just your straight up regular old eggs. If you really want the best kind of egg, buying from your local farm. If your local farmer has a Facebook page or Instagram or a YouTube channel, if you really care about your food, ask them questions, follow them on Facebook, because if they're doing things in a humane manner with the animal's best interest in mind, they're going to share that with you on their social platforms. But even deception happens within the local community with local farmers. So I always encourage everyone to stalk their Facebook. Then you really know how they're raising the animals. I hope this video helped you guys and you learned something new today. If you have any questions, feel free to message me and I'll explain it the best I can. So my husband pointed out to me, he's absolutely right, that this is probably not the best time of year to bring you a video about farm fresh eggs, because myself, like many others who have their own chickens, are experiencing molt right now, which means for the next 2 to 3 months, 2 to 3 months per year, hens don't lay if they're older than 18 months. That's why most commercial egg producers slaughter at about 18 months, because they don't want to hold on and feed chickens for those 3 months when they're not producing. You know, that's just the way it is right now. By Christmas or a little later, by the new year, I should be getting a lot more eggs. So just keep us in mind, you know, when we get to that. And I'll post on Facebook when they start laying again, because they're all start laying like at one time, and I'll be getting, you know, 8 dozen eggs a day again. So, so it probably wasn't the best time of year, but I still thought it was important to share this with you guys. And people dropped me off egg cartons, and I was like just looking at the labels, and it was getting my blood boiling. I'm like, I gotta share this with people. So that's another reason why, you know, I figured this was a good time. Better now than later. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one, and God bless.